Boom! And we are back again for another fantastic video. Today's video I'm super excited about. It is going to be all about range of expression. And this is something that I absolutely sucked with. Absolutely was terrible with for a long time. And I have formulated some really cool, pretty simple drills that I do on a regular basis that I'm going to teach and show you guys today. They only take a couple minutes to do, and when they're done on a regular basis, your range of expression dramatically increases. So I think of these exercises as a means to kind of stretch and practice. And they're things that you can do by yourself at home. And then that way, when you go out, you are just, boom, banging on all cylinders, so to speak. Now, really, range of expression, when you think about most people, they kind of have a very monotone voice. And again, this is something that I work on a lot, and honestly that I really struggled with for a long time. But most people, very monotone, speak at the same cadence, which is the same speed. They can't speed it up or slow it down. It's the same rate. They kind of use the same vocabulary. They kind of use the same body movements, and everything is just kind of boring. So with these exercises, our goal is to really practice on the extremes and really the full spectrum of expression, so that then when you are interacting, you don't even have to really think about it. You just naturally can throw in these things really almost subconsciously. You don't have to think about them, right? And that's really always my goal of building a lot of these exercises, is to build systems to where you can practice them, kind of ingrain them in, and then they just become second nature to where you don't have to think about them. And ultimately, with building charisma, this is what range of expression is all about. So, and it also helps with public speaking, business sales, if you're doing pitches, it just drawing more interesting people into conversations. It can really be applied across the board in many different ways. So buckle up, it's gonna be a fun video, and without further ado, let's hop right into it. All right, so the first, number one exercise that we are going to do today is what is called divorce the meaning. Divorce the meaning. And this is a fantastic exercise. It's actually one that I find a lot of people have some trouble doing at first, but once you practice this on a regular basis, your capacity for expression and charisma and your just overall energy and expressiveness goes through the roof. So essentially what this exercise entails is coming up with a series of sentences that you just come up with on the fly. So in that way, you're just improvising, right? But as you're going through and you're just coming up with random things that you're saying, what we're gonna be doing is we're going to switch the speed at which we say it, we're gonna switch the volume, and we're gonna switch the emotion. So what I wanna do, my goal is when I'm going through this, is to just be talking normally, but to be going through as much different ranges from, again, volume, speed, and emotion as possible. And if you wanna do this later on, which we'll do some other kinesthetic work, you can start tying in even more wacky body movement into this as well. But for just this first section, let's focus on just purely the speech and the sound, the speed, and the emotion. So I'll just run through a quick little example, and let me just hop in real quick. I'm gonna tell you this story that happened to me recently. And it's actually quite a crazy story because, okay, check this out. This is what happened. I was walking to the store, and it was because I needed to get a lot of peanut butter and also green beans. Green beans. Yes, I said it, green beans. Peanut butter and green beans. And I was gonna make my favorite peanut butter and green bean casserole. And so I was walking to the store, beside the point, I was walking to the store to get these items, and all of a sudden I started to get this weird tingling sensation. So I looked up in the sky, and when I looked up in the sky, I saw that there was a huge alien spacecraft hovering over me, and I tried to run away from it, and it kept on beaming me up. So these aliens beamed me up, and they probed me and interrogated me. But what I actually found was that they had all the supplies that I was looking for. They had tons of peanut butter and green beans, and they told me, here, take them, take these green beans and peanut butter. And so they were very friendly. They were very friendly aliens. And not only that, but they actually dropped me right back off at my house. They dropped me right back off at my house. And so I started making all this food, peanut butter and green beans, and then I realized that my dog is super fond of this, and he had eaten all my food. He ate all the peanut butter. All right, so I don't know if that was the best example of divorcing the meaning, but you get the idea. And not only is it really good for range of expression, where I don't know if I really did the best job there, but trying to speed things up and slow them down, trying to exaggerate, again, both going from a low volume to a high volume, and also going from expression as an emotion and a very heightened kind of sense of emotion, whether it be anger or excitement or whatever, to more subdued and low levels. And you're trying to mesh everything together as you're just trying to improvise a story. And the improv will also kind of carry us into the next section, which is going to be what I call free association. And when I do free association, the best form is to actually do this where you're telling a story just on the fly. Whatever your imagination kind of just vomits up, you just kind of go with it, and that's the best. But the next example of free association will just be where we just kind of stand or sit and just every second come up with another word. So what I will do is just kind of shake it off real quick, and then I'll go for about 30 seconds where I'm saying a different word every second. So let's just give an example right off the bat. Let's go. Teabag, octopus, weightlifting, peanut butter, vasectomy, blimp, airplane, penis, Aeropostale, Zimbabwe, xylophone, Abercrombie, beach, whale, hippopotamus, dissection, scalpel, hair transplant. So that's, I don't know if that was 30 seconds or not, timer, I don't know, whatever. But the point is, I'll do that for about 3 rounds. I just call it free association, where I'm just trying to come up with different words every second. And the key is with this is, I would say I like to do 3 rounds, and I reset the round if I mention the same word again. What I'll notice a lot of times is that I will, after maybe about 10 or 15 seconds, I'll repeat the same word. And if I do that, then I'll just cut it and then restart another session. And the other key is that you don't want the words to be like synonyms. So you don't want to say like grass, tree, shrub, green, plants, flower, right? You don't want to be saying the same. I like to try to stretch them as kind of far and different apart as possible. And the last thing to do with this exercise is to make sure that you're not taking too much time in between. So you don't want to say like plant, gym. You don't want to take too much time. You want to be pretty quick with it. The faster you can be, the better, because it's more that it's training that improv ability and the imagination and just the ability to have that expression. And this is one of the things that I'll notice a lot, is that people are just very boring in conversations. So when you're able to mesh these two with both the free association and divorcing the meaning together, you're creating a really heightened imagination and improvisation skills, and your range at which you can then express those is incredibly strong. So you're able to have a lot of different range, and These two exercises alone will make you, again, into a much better public speaker. They will make you into just a much more charismatic person. When you're holding conversations, people will be entertained, people will listen to you. Your ability to generate humor is another thing that is just crazy. A lot of times when you get into doing free association, you may find like, well, like, I don't know, you may be saying to yourself, I don't know what to, say in a conversation, or I feel like my conversations are just kind of mundane and lackluster. And you start practicing these. Only takes a couple minutes per day, even just a couple times per week. You'll start noticing really great benefits, and you'll just get much wittier, where like I'll say things in conversation a lot of times where I'll be like, where did that come from? Like that was pretty good. That was pretty witty. That was pretty quick and smart. And it'll just make you much faster on thinking on your feet. And you'll find that your conversations they become much more enjoyable. So that's the second one, free association. The third one that we're gonna hop into is what I call working on kinesthetic blocks, or kind of like kinesthetic energy. So yeah, let's hop into that one right now, kinesthetic energy. So, kinesthetic energy blocks. What exactly the hell is that? Kinesthetic energy, what I'll notice is that a lot of people, when they're having conversations, their body is very tense, and I do this too, I'm fidgeting or I'm looking around. So being able to really unblock a lot of these kinesthetic energy entanglements that you have will enable you to really expand on what we just practiced with the free association and divorcing the meaning. And it's going to really anchor you into a much more expressive person. And all these things are synergistic together, and they're also fun to just play around with in interactions where you only do one of them, right? So a lot of times I find you can draw a lot of attention on yourself simply by employing a lot of really good body language, or what I call sub-communication, just having really good posture, being really grounded. So these are really fun things to play around with. And so the first exercise that we're going to do is just going to be, I'm going to move this down a little bit. We're just going to move around a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just try to put my body into as many different weird positions as possible. And we can start by doing this without saying anything. And then on the second round, what I'll do is I'll start, having more of tying in maybe free association with it. But what I'll do is I'll just start by like raising all the way up like this and come out. Nice, come out, back up here, come all the way down. Move the back around. And then also try to tie the legs in. So I'll just like lift my leg up, and you want to try to just go into the most ridiculous positions that you can, and then hold them. Right, so like hold this, and then relax, maybe move the other leg over. Okay, crazy stuff. And what I find is that I'll do that for a couple of minutes, and at the very end of doing that, what I'll also do is I'll try to hold a really ridiculous position, and I'll try to hold that for maybe 20 or 30 seconds, and then I'll just try to release it and shake it out. And again, you're just trying to like put yourself in positions that you don't normally like physically put yourself into, because most people are just super rigid. And I can just see this in people, right? It's like you feel kind of uncomfortable when someone else is super rigid, and by you practicing these different like just wacky motions with your body, you get down on the floor and do it. You can start just like jumping up and down and do it. The point is just like stretching, trying to work on this range of expression, and in this case doing that purely through the different motions of your arms, legs, neck, head, feet, whatever. Work everything as much as you can. And again, what you'll notice is that then you have much more capacity to control it if you want to, or when you're just in everyday interactions, you'll just be much more relaxed. And you'll find that when you have good subcommunication and you're relaxed, you're grounded, then you can really do damage with that, coupled with the, you know, words and the free association. And so you have that really good improbability, quick, witty, fast on your feet, but also just free and grounded with your body. And you just become incredibly charismatic. So the last one that I think we'll do for today is what I call facial brushing. And this one is kind of similar to what we just did with the kinesthetic movement, but this one is just for the face. And one little key point that I'll say is that your face is the only part of your body that can actually communicate specific emotions without any other part of your body, right? So you can communicate a wide range, right? From, you know, anger to happiness to bliss, whatever it is, that can all be communicated non-verbally through your face. So let's hop into this last section. That's what I call facial brushing, and let's get right into it. All right, so this last section that we're gonna cover for today is what I call facial brushing. And this is something that I'll just do a couple times per week for a couple of minutes. And I think one of the best ways that you can really begin to do this is get a bunch of note cards and write down maybe 50 to 100 different emotions, from, let's say, apathy to anger to suspicious to hungry to angry, maybe I said it already, to hopeful to sinister, just a whole wide, you know, range of emotions. And then you'll have all these note cards, and what I'll do is I'll just cycle through them, and I'll pick out one and I'll try to make that face. So let's just say, for the sake of an example, I pull up a note card and let's say it's angry. So I'll try to, what I'll do is also, if I'm cueing people on this, I'll say, do it on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 would, if I say 1, that would be like as minimally as you possibly can show anger on your face. So let's say a 1 on anger, I might go like this. Okay, let's try to do like a 5 at anger. So that would be like a medium intensity, right? And then let's try to do a 10 on anger, right? And so let's go back and do a 10 again, 10 on anger. All right, so I'll do that with each one of the expressions and pulling them up. So let's say really quickly, let's do happy, just as an easy one, right? So let's do like a 1 on happy. Let's do a 5 on happy. That's like a, you know, a medium one. Let's do a really insane happy at a 10 happy. Right, so, and then that's, again, you're never gonna probably make that face in a public interaction or ever, but it's just good to be able to have that range of expression. And so that's the key with that. And then the second part to facial brushing is running through different eye movements and different mouth movements and then combining them together. So what I'll do is let's say you have, let's say, the upper half on your eyes and the lower half on your mouth. So what I'll say is upper, which would be, or we'll say top and bottom. So top will be the eyes, bottom will be the mouth. So let's say top to the left. So eyes would be looking up to the left, and let's say bottom mouth to the right. So it would be like this. It's actually really sunny out here. I'm gonna turn around this way, so I'm like not looking right at the sun. So top, so let's say eyes up to the left and mouth down to the right. So it'd be like this. All right, now let's say top to the right and bottom to the left. Now let's say top up and bottom down. Now let's say bottom up and top down. And I'll run through these different kind of variations of up and down or left and right or whatever. after I've gone through and I've done the different like emotional cards and cycled through those. So that's pretty it. And then the last one that you can do is just like do like an improv with the facial brushing, where you're just trying to put it into as many crazy positions as possible. So, you know, going in and just like putting it all over the place, just like up, down, side to side, mouth closed, you know, eyes rolling, trying to talk as I'm doing this. And again, this is not something that you ever have to do in public, but you practice these a little bit here and there. The cool thing is that this entire exercise set that we ran through today, you don't have to do it every day, but if you could just do it 2 or 3 times per week for 5 minutes, that's all I think you need to do it. You know, a total of maybe 10 or 20 minutes per week split up into 2 or 3 sessions. You'll notice that when you start having conversations with people, you're just able to draw them in much more easily. And what you'll find too is that then you won't be as focused on like little like trivial energy blocks that you have in conversations, and you will be able to actually become much wittier and much quicker. And to be honest, these things they're kind of a pain in the ass, kind of, but they're also kind of really fun to do. So yeah, I say give these a shot, and notice your range of expression over the course of several weeks and several months go through the roof. So hope you guys enjoyed this little intro to range of expression, and let me know if you know like this video, you want me to make more. And I'm even considering making a whole course on this ultimate charisma and range of expression, because it's something that I'm super interested in, something that I really was not very good at. Maybe I'm still learning a lot, but these are some just simple tricks to get rid of a lot of the energy blocks and things that really don't take that much work but have a high ROI, which is return on investment. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back very, very soon. I'm out.